Hey guys, TheGamingSandwich here. So here I'm going to show you some reasons why pretty much I took I was going to take Super Heavy Samurai to locals, and then I figured a lot of people will kind of be siding for Super Heavy as it's kind of like I feel like it's an easy side card against. So that's just me personally. So I'm going to show you a couple of kind of videos of like how gets around certain cards. So basically now, like whereas before you kind of like draw would have been an issue, but it isn't really anymore. So it's like with now you just kind of search this and then you just literally add this, and so like literally it gets round draw, because then manifestation is live thanks to draw being in the graveyard. So you can kind of get around draw. Draw's not really a problem for icejade anymore because you can add from the graveyard and you can add from banish to your hand, and then you can special summon from the deck or send to the graveyard. So it's easy to play around draw now, not compared to anything else. So I'm going to do kind of a situation for you. So this will be like your free cards, as it were. So your normal summon this. Effective Adrenaline. Adrenaline will search you Erosion. Okay? So you'll add the Erosion to your hand. You will then pitch the Manifestation. Manifestation will then special this. You will then get a token. You will then synchro for icejade Adrenaline. You will then set this and you will just go pass. So your opponent then starts, because obviously people playing against Super Heavy Samurai, they will go Dark Ruler no more. So you'll think to yourself, I'm not really in a good place here. So let's read the Dark Ruler no more. So let's negate the effects of your favorite monsters, that's fine. After this card resolves, neither pair can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. So what you can do is they activate this. You can chain Erosion. You don't even need to activate Erosion. You can then chain the Adrenaline because you're not activating it in response to the Dark Ruler no more. You're activating it in response to Erosion. So that way your monsters are then protected from something like Lightning Storm or let's just say Mirror Jade or something like that. So it protects your monsters. So learning to use the cards to dodge things like this are really good. Icejade is really good at kind of playing round or literally dodging a lot of effects. So that's really good. So let's imagine that you know you're going against Pearly and you're going first. So like a really good thing to go Pearly is just literally just do your normal lock. So it's like you get your Adrenaline, you get your field spell, you get your so you have your field spell and you have your curse. Or you could even just hit Gozen, because Gozen will stop them partway through the combo anyway. So you'll literally flick through this, go through your deck, there you go, and you'll hit Curse. So here's the thing. So against like Pearly Noir, even though it's unaffected, if you have Curse out first, it will still be unaffected. So it will still be affected by Curse because Curse was around on the field first. It's the same with the thing with Skill Drain. If Skill Drain is up first, the Pearly Noir will be under drain and therefore it will not be able to activate its effects. So there is certain things you can realize to kind of augment and get around things like that. So that's always like really useful to know. Another good thing is like is using Adrenaline to kind of like banish the Pearly quick play. So basically they can't attach the materials as easy, so just banishing multiple names is really useful. So always kind of like try and do that. So, and at the moment my more favorite thing to do, and it's really obvious, so it's kind of fine. So your normal Adrenaline, so they ash, you manifestation brings out any of your level 7s. So we'll just go each process, which is old school. So you'll do that, synchro into those two, and literally like you just literally now just go Baron, and literally now it's just really good because if you've got, say, the field spell out, so you'll go do this neg standby phase, so you'll switch this out, tag into Adrenaline. Adrenaline will then just activate, then you'll trigger this, and then you just get your free search and always dodging the ash. it's just really, really useful to kind of like go against these kind of things. And just every standby phase, you're just literally just going +1, +1, +1. And then obviously if they attack, you can go, cool, you can either equip this or you can special this, stop it from being destroyed. Or even if like they just find a way to banish it, you banish this, target a card, and then just like absolutely like wreck them. It's Manifestation's effect is really, really useful. So just to like clear kind of problem cards. Another good thing to always remember is that with Adrian, if Wallace has been summoned its actual way, if card your opponent controls is banished by card effect, you can special this. So it's really, really like useful to kind of remember it. So because of like how yesterday was with me, like, so my matches for locals were branded Predaplants and Scareclaw Adventure. So the Adventure Engine was probably the most scarier one of anything I played against, but you've got your Gozin, which kind of locks out, which is good. I just didn't draw mine, which kind of sucks. So sucks to be me. So that kind of like was not really great, but it was just literally just get out there, Adrian, and just end up beating down. There was a good point where I was hit with D-Barrier, and I literally just made Starboy, and then I ended up making Godslime, and then it was just like, oh, because of the field spell, so they lost 50, so they lost 1500 attack. I'm like, cool, attack 35, yeah, attack for 19, game. So even though like you're under D-Barrier, the deck has like you only really have like 4 synchros you go into. The rest is like a combination of links and XYZ, so you're kind of fine. A nice little fun tech is kind of interesting to note. So if you say you ditch, say, this for this card. So you say you've got this on field, normal, this, and you get your token. Another good thing to kind of like do if you kind of like don't really want to leave anything sitting around, if you're worried about an OTK for your opponent, if you've got it in hand, you can, where is it? I bet it's at the top of my deck. There you are. You can Moray of Avarice your token. So which is really useful just for like getting rid of like random things. So Moray of Avarice the token, you draw 2 cards. So that's always quite nice to know, just because sometimes you just don't want to leave a monster on board, just in case you're afraid of like an OTK deck or something like that. So yeah, everything is kind of now really, really tight deck-wise. I will kind of like, I'll share my thoughts. Like, if you really want my thoughts of most things, so like these are kind of like the 5 cards that I feel you will switch out more than most. So where are we? There we go. So yeah, not this one. So there we go. So these are the 5 you will kind of switch out. So you depending on your matchups. So Moray and Monster Reborn are always kind of like weirdly flexy spots anyway. White Howling, it just really depends on your matchup. If you're going against something that's like Eldritch, Dynamorphia, or let's just say Labyrinth Dynamorphia, or like Trap Trick, something like that, this is an automatic side out. I'd say Monster Reborn is also a side out as well. So then you got your Gozens you're going to take out depending on certain matchups. Like with Eldritch, you're going to take it out. Trap Trick, you're going to take it out. Mirror Match, you're going to take it out. Just anything that it's just easy just to kind of go, okay, they're kind of keep with that main attribute set. So yeah, there's no point to this. So you then kind of think to yourself, I've got some good siding cards. So that's personally how I do it. Like, if you're going against branded, White Howling is usually quite good. So if you're going first, it's much better. If you're going second, no, because they've already set up. So you're better off going with your like more of your idea of like going into board breakers. That's how I would kind of go for it in my head. So yeah, it's the deck now I feel is a lot more streamlined. I don't really feel like I brick as much as I could have done before. I'm not too sure sometimes about the Tremoras being free of, but the end of the day, it's still like a really nice card that presents a special when you are going against, say, something like Flu. You don't really want to commit to a normal. Again, you could always side it out, but I just feel it's kind of fine as it is. And yeah, I don't really feel like the deck has a super bad matchup. Because of how Ran is, like you can still like do this, discard this, get this under Kashtira, so it's kind of not really that too bad. Or you've got plays, so it doesn't really hurt as much. Like Adrian kind of really helps you against Cat. So like these three are just so good versus Kashtira anyway. So if they banish stuff, they proc this. If like this protects it, this just kind of like annoys them anyway. So you've kind of got like a lot. So that's what I kind of feel it. So if you kind of, let's go for the extra day now. So you've got Baron, so that's a Baron's a negate. Adrian can be a negate and a banish, so that's fine. So you can't, and then we've got Toad. So you've got these are banishing and negates. So you've got those three as banishing negates. So let's go with that. This is an enabler, so I'm not going to count this. Protection. We've got Burn, OTK, Disruption. Disable, so it's kind of fine. Recursion. This is more of the stun element, so I'll kind of go with that. Recursion and Recursion. We have a lot of recursion in this deck. The Link 2s are all about recursion in one way, shape, or form. Recursion from the graveyard, recursion from the deck, recursion from the graveyard. It's just so good. We're just trying to like make a deck as versatile as possible. So when you think as well, like Kragan burns. Right, so you've got Kragan, which is a burn effect. You've got Curse, which is also a burn effect. So, where are you? Where's Cursey? Cursey. There you go. Curse is also a burn effect. So it can be applied to your opponent's monster or yours if you're really wanting to do it. So you have a stun engine, you've got disruption, you've got recursion, and you've got burn. You either do one thing to hurt your opponent one way or you do it another way. Sometimes just chipping away with Curse is just so good. Just to literally, even it's like, okay, they do 600 damage to me, but I do 1000 to them. It's just so good. You just keep chipping away at their life points. Icejade at the moment is one of this really good thing of like, you've got a lot of recursion with the deck. It does a lot that your opponent has to really read and understand the combos of how to interact. So you've got the lovely surprise about it. And then you've just got the pressure of like, oh cool, here you go, have some burn damage. And if you're going into like the latter end of like time, it's really not good for your opponent to put pressure on them to go, here you go, I'm going to constantly be dealing you burn damage. So you have that little bit of psychological like intimidation to your thing of like, I've got to kind of try and end this quickly because he's going to deal burn damage to me. So that's a good thing, and you can play on that. So that's been, hopefully this Icejade video has been a bit more helpful to people. If you want me to kind of like go through a few more like more interactive things of like either chain blocking or like doing bits to kind of like surprise your opponent, please feel free to talk to me and I will try and do those for you. Okay, hopefully you've enjoyed this. I'm the Gaming Sandwich, so thank you very much.